All right, morning everybody. This is Sunday, 9/7 Sunday morning, and welcome to the last lesson. This is episode 2. The topic of today will be going a little bit more into detail as far as looking at the 20 single man techniques, the 3 phases of practicing it by yourself. Okay, so the general breakdown for each one is you have your square, and you have your twerk, and then you have your full turn. Okay, each one serves a particular purpose of development when you're doing this exercise. And it's a little crooked here. Yoink. Maybe that's better. All right, so let's so basically understand 3 different one same premise, 3 different ways of doing it, each its own individual development goal involved with each one. Okay, and let's go over each one. So first, we're going to start off with the 20 single man techniques, the square version first. Okay, so let me just do it first, and then I'll explain in detail what we're doing. One side first. You have 1 tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, wu, hyun, jut, out, gum, vak, gum, gan, ding, han, lo, jung, cow. All right, so notice you see the 20 single hand techniques. I've shown you all the motions. What exactly are you developing in this top motion? And mind you, I understand once you develop out of Ichikima and practice Ichikima, you start using more hand techniques, right? Like the majority of our stuff that we do is basically hands. Even though we have a lot of kicks, we do a lot of practice with the hands. And the problem is, while the priority is still the stance, the hands kind of take over as far as mentally getting its main focus. So a lot of times what you want to make sure is when you're doing this motion is that you don't lose the center of gravity, right? Obviously, remember rule 1, 2, and 3, make that your most important value system. So in the first motion, when we're staying square, right? The squareness, remember, one for all. So if I'm doing tan, bong, lap, I am not holding my stance in place. My center of gravity is not static, nor are my legs static. There is movement, and it's not here stiff. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. You can see my body. I'm holding and squeezing it in place. There's actually movement going along with it. Okay, let me just reiterate that. But the main development that we're looking for with the first drill is basically the creation of the ball. Okay, the creation of the ball has to be really understood. Because when you create the ball or the top part of the ball with your hands, it creates not only the structure but also a function of what it's supposed to do upon contact. If you don't create the structure for yourself, right, making the ball with 2 hands, what ends up happening is that instead of the 2 hands functioning as a drill motion or a circular motion to weed off all the things around you, you're going to end up landing on your opponent. You either land on your opponent's arms or they'll land on you, vice versa. So you definitely don't want that to happen. So let's look at some detail behind this. Okay. First, right, when you see me do tan, right, it looks like when we say tan, you're thinking this is the left hand and this is the right hand wusao, and tan, because we say it first, takes precedence. But technically, the tan creation, and I know this takes a while to understand, is there is no literally left side and right side when I do the tan. Yes, this deals and drills it off to the left side, but if you do tan without this side at all, it will not function and work. So what I'm doing when I create this, one side creates this motion and this side creates this motion, imagine like basically a hug. I'm making a circle to each other, okay? Now, a little bit in detail how I'm doing this. When I do tan, right, it looks like, I'm going forward with it, true, making the circle. Look at my wusao. When my wusao is not, imagine you going like this and hugging. I'm hugging the motion together, right? Hugging the motion together. I'm not one time, one woo. Like it says, I'm not placing this motion here. I'm not placing this motion here. It's from the source, it's expanding up to the shoulder, to the elbow, and to the hand, right? It's not just me placing it here. So if you can imagine, here's a hug, my tongue, you can see the same thing. I'm creating the ball together. That's very key. Not only are you determining that the motions, two structures combine with each other, okay? You're also setting a precedence of the perimeter that you're creating, okay? If you don't understand like the size of your house, like for example, once I make this structure, this is the size of my house. Notice if I want to go beyond my house, like if I go like this, right? If I go like this, I know this is the 0 point for this tanzao. But if this 0 point goes like this and I don't even know that, then next thing you know is when push comes to shove, I think this is time I'm going to end up pushing against that force. So in essence, by creating this house, I know this house can't go beyond here. But if I don't create this hug and house, I can end up pushing further in. Same thing goes that if I don't create this perimeter for the house going outside or staying within here and going outside, the same thing can be said that if I don't know my perimeter here, the house can also collapse as well. So the top part of the 20 single man technique is essential for creating that ball, because without the ball, you have what? You land. Okay, you land on your opponent or they land on you. Without the ball, two, you have no function. Okay, what does that mean, that function? Because here, like let's say a lot of times people do tan. They do tan and then this is not in function. They will try to use a tan and guide it off to the side. But I am not guiding off the motion actively off that. When I create the tan and I have the ball created here, tan's out here and you touch this motion here, I'm not trying to guide you to the side. Your force is kicking in here, into my point here. And guess what? By you going further, you're actually moving my motion over to the side. I am not, a lot of times you see people come here and I tan them off and then come here and come try to go for a hit. No, I'm trying to you have to keep the constraint or a restraint on your structure, right? That if it functions in the ball here, it will automatically spin the force to this. I don't have to go like this and make it move to the side. That's a common mistake. So when you do the 20 single man technique for the top square, what are you doing? Creating the ball, creating the proper perimeter, knowing the size of the house, how big it should be. Notice like from the side position when I do this motion, right? Tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, woo, hyun, jet, out, gum, fak, pow, gan, ding, han, lo, jung, cow. Notice if you're looking from the side of the picture here that you can see, I'm not going one in, one out, back and forth like this. The ball is basically staying the same. In between each exchange is a breath, right? I'm going like this from here, tan, and I'm not going breathe, bong, breathe, lap. Notice, look at my breath, tan, bong, lap. So you can see from that, just like a normal pulsation from one transition to another. So you're basically going like this, smoothly. You're not going like one jag, two jag, like this. Smoothly from one transition to another. Hold on, let me get some coffee here. Too much talking. Okay, so the goal of the first section, seal the elbows. What? Create the shape to seal the ball. This is your circle. The ball has a function of basically moving things away. If you don't create this ball, you will be guiding things away. You don't want to guide because when you guide, you are actively doing it. He basically comes into the house. And the more he comes into the house, he's going to drill himself out. It is not me. He comes to the house and I'm guiding him to do one way or another. That makes sense? So it is essential. You must create this ball. You don't create the ball, you land. Or you land on them or they land on you, vice versa. And you will end up being chasing. Okay? Once you chase the perimeter of the house, whether you push or you collapse or whatever, or you land, you conform to them. So it's essential, make the ball every single time. That is the purpose of the first motion. Okay, the second part, the twerk. I just call it twerk. I don't know. I'm coming up with fucking names for whatever reason. Okay, so here's the squareness of it. The twerk works on the lower part of the ball. Okay, how so? How does the lower part of the ball work? Notice I'm not turning my full body like a regular shift. From here, from my center of gravity, I turn. And when I turn just enough, I'm turning just a little, okay? Actually, let me demonstrate it first, the twerk, okay? If you imagine here's the center line, here's my shoulder. Twerk is from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So basically little, notice my feet are in place. I'm not turning like a full motion shift. I basically use the center of gravity, turn, and then from there you have a little tension on the knees, almost like you stretch a rubber band. Like if I stretch this rubber band this way and relax, I snap back to the center. Okay, so the top part, while we work on the formation of the shape of the circle, the bottom part of the twerk functions as what? Working on the circle itself. Don't think of this as one here, and I squeeze it in. I'm not squeezing it in. This side is turning, this side is turning, but my feet are in place. So it's just a little turn. So both of them are actually moving. And then when I reset back, it snaps back into the center of gravity. Right? Why is that so important? Because same process again, right? All too often, like if you do a forward step, like forward motion or like footwork, you look at Yichikima, the final motion of Yichikima is here, right? I'm exaggerating it. You have a circle in place. So a lot of times people do like motions where they step, open, and then try to seal the ball back in, okay? The problem is when you open the ball like that unnaturally, right? Taking too big of a breath motion, like kind of going like 1 and then 2. Same thing can be applied also when you're stepping, right? If you step and then, okay, within here, I open, here's my center here, or my ball's here, I open it, and then I step. Sure, you're perfect as long as no one touches you, because within this transition, when you breathe and open the ball too wide and you get hit by that, then you lose the foundation of the structure of the bottom feet. Okay? You must be able to maintain that ball and understand what the ball tension is when I twerk. When I go like this, by the time I do this motion here in the turn, it's almost like you're kind of winding up. You don't want to do it where you turn so much and it's tight. And you want to do it where you feel just a little tension and it snaps back. That's why I just go a little, boom, snap back. Okay, so that's the essence of the second section. First part, top ball. Second part, lower ball. Learn how the lower ball basically maintains that circle and is never lost. Okay, too often times the breath is too big in between motions. And when the breath is big, it's okay when you're by yourself, because nothing is touching you or interfering with your structure. But the moment you have that gap or too big of a gap within your structure of the lower body, then guess what? This may be okay. Let's say your hands are okay structurally, you have the ball contained. But if the lower half doesn't have the ball contained, guess what? You won't be able to maintain that. Okay, because the lower part balances or creates a steadiness for the top part. Simple, right? Foundation. Okay, so when you practice twerk, you're basically looking for that. Maintain the ball, snaps back to center. Maintain the ball, snaps back to center. And notice when I do the ball, look at my ball. I'm not going like this open or try to open that motion and then try to seal it back in. It's just breathing. It's like breathe, breathe, breathe. See the normal breath within it. Okay, so that is so key. And notice going back to that center. When I go back to the center, I don't have to force myself back in the center. It's natural, right? Because I maintain everything that we do is we train. So we don't want to be like a trained dog. That means we are reacting to ourselves. We are reacting to our tension, not he touches, then I react to it. I already know what the tension is like. As soon as he touches it, I already feel a change in my own tension and I adjust it right away. Not He touches it, 1 pound, 2 pounds, and then I can react from right away. So hopefully you see the value of first ball, second ball. The third ball, okay. Third ball is full turn. Tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, wu, hyun, jet, out, gum, bak, pow, gan, ding, han, lo, jung. Circle back, okay? Kasa. Basically, the center of gravity. Now, technically, you're always starting from the source, but I get it. You're practicing something like the 20 single man. The focus is going to be all on the hands, right? Especially in the beginning, you're like, how do I do tan? How do I do bang? Whatever, okay? Then you're working on the bottom part with the torque. You're like focusing, how do I maintain this turn? How do I do it without leaning back? I get it. I get it. And that's why we're breaking it down in segments like this so you can understand first. The full turn is the unification of all three balls. You have your center of gravity, you have the top ball that's hugging, and the bottom legs that are hugging as well. So when I turn like this motion here, I want to make sure that the source is starting it. When the source starts it, then guess what? The legs are turning fully, right? The knees are actually leading that motion. And then from here, that sensation that I talked about in episode 1, right? From the source to the elbows, and then we stake it to the hollow palms. That is what you're going for. Because in the end, without this unification, if it's coming from the source, let's say someone punches me. I'm in cheese-up position like this, and someone punches me. I'm going to be turned. See, notice I turn myself, and then now I have to actively palm in. So I do both two actives, active. I actively block to try to do this, and I actively attack. Can it work? Sure it can work. The guy's fucking retarded. You can make anything work. But in this position, notice what I'm doing. The activity that I'm doing is creating the right tension, the right control, the right perimeter, the right reaction for myself, so that when the force comes in, guess what? You're turning me. So at this entire time, I'm passive. So notice, look, you snap me, my legs snap in, just like how we did the torque. My body, my hands turn. I'm not trying to guide you out. And then from this passive motion, you are responsible for this entire motion. The opponent is responsible for that. I am responsible for the tension, so I can passively follow you at that point. And what happens? When that punch comes in and you create that, you make me turn, you make my motion turn like here, I'm all passive, I can actively come in. So simple. That's why it looks like you can go, I turn and I go like this. You can do that, but the timing is off, right? You'd have to use speed. You'd have to try to muscle your way in. When you do when you let him do everything for you, guess what? He dictated it as far as how he chooses to get hit. Okay. So now you see the breakdown of the balls. First ball, right? Top ball control, perimeter of the house. Second ball, make sure it's breathing, right? Breathing. Third ball, unification of first and second ball, controlled by the third. Now I'm debating. Fuck. Do I talk about this some more? Notice when we do this motion, we're breaking it down. Here's a tan, here's a bong, here's a lap. But in reality, when I'm doing it, you want to think in terms like how we originally said, like here. You can see someone go tan, bong, lap. Okay? But look how I do this. Tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, woo, hyun, jet. Notice there's like a rhythm to it, right? I know when you're first learning it, you're learning it. This is a tan, this is a bong. I get it. You have to break down the individual. But the quicker way, once you have that, get over that hurdle, is to feel the rhythm of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's a rhythm to the motion. There's a rhythm. My definitions I'm trying to come up with so it's easier for you to understand. The breath, the rhythm, how you're doing it, you have to be able to understand that and feel that for yourself. That rhythm, the breath is the flow within you. And for example, if I do like tan like this, I start from the source, like almost like I breathe out, or like, expanding out, I expand out, and then relax back in. Okay, so if you can understand that initial wave, and I'll go in more detail with this. I just want to break down the primary things for the first, second, and third for the 20. But if you look at this, expanding out, right? Expanding out, and I'm exaggerating the motion. Don't copy it, just so you can see. Expanding out and contracting back in. Okay. See that? So think of it like there's a rhythm to it. It's like even from the initial motion, it's not just like 1, 2. It's like boom, boom, right? So I'm making it a little more obvious. But if you watch me do it, like if I do tanza tan, does it look like I'm going 1 then 2? No, you actually see 1 then 2. It's so, here is a big visible that you can see. This one's a little blip, like a pulse, like a little pulse. And the quicker you can get the pulse as far as expand and contract back in, like if you can get that unification going, then the easier it is for you to get that rhythm, the beat. Okay. All right, I'm getting off subject here. Focus on the first 3 first. Understand what you're developing and working, and then we'll get to the other shit later. All right.